We say never forget, but memory's selective like a DJ with a trauma set list. Spin the track of whips and chains, but skip the verse where we did the same. We mourn slavery like a sacred hymn, but the genocide in Rwanda, that verse stays dim. 1 million dead in 100 days, but no protest parades, no global outrage, just silence wrapped in apathy's praise. See, pain gets romanticized when it's American-sized. We know every inch of Rosa's bus seat, but never speak of Congo's blood-soaked concrete. We love our scars when they rhyme in English, but grief in Tutsi and Lingala gets dismissed like pain needs subtitles just to exist. We post Black Lives Matter with the rage of a thunderstorm, but only when the death is televised and the killer wears a uniform. What about when the trigger's pulled by someone with our grandmother's skin tone? Is that death less sacred? Or just too close to home? We glorify survival like it's currency, but some of us been spending suffering like it earns us spiritual clout. Turn our trauma to a TED Talk, but leave half the story out. What's the difference between a whip and a belt or a switch from the yard? We flinch at slave stories, but still beat our babies hard. Call it discipline, call it love, call it what made us tough. But pain passed down like inheritance is never enough. We condemn white hands for the lash, but justify our own grip as long as the weapon came from a mama's hip and not a master's fist. We roast each other like it's love, but where do we think that came from? Slave masters mocked us first, our lips, our skin, our dialect, our drums. Now we do it on stage and call it culture. We drag each other in jokes, but the roots still torture. We call each other nigga like we flipped the script, but the scar's still there and the tongue still slips. We beat our kids, we hate our skin, but especially hers if it's dark, if it dares to exist without apology. Light looks down on deep like it's dust. Pretty gets defined by proximity to whiteness, and the rest of us gets crushed. We cage our men, we shame our sons, we tear down Black women like it earns us a prize, not realizing we're just reenacting the master's eyes. We even question who's really Black, like birthright comes with a flag or a face. If our roots stretch islands or our names ain't from the States, we get revoked, called fake, pushed out our own pain like struggle's a contest we don't get to claim. We don't just mourn, we marinate in misery. Scroll like archaeologists of agony, digging for the next clip to break us spiritually. We watch lynchings on loop, call it raising awareness like we're proud, but really, we're addicted to the fear stringing trauma like pearls passed down. We turn platforms into digital plantations for recycled pain, uploading our wounds so the algorithm can profit again. We pass trauma like memes and call it connection, but half of what we normalize is just learned oppression. We scream support Black business. And yeah, we should, but not at the cost of quality, not just because it feels good. Excellence should never be exempt from expectation. Don't hand us poor service and call it reparations. We cry to sit at every table. Now we build our own and lock the doors. Say Black only, like segregation was sacred, like we forgot what the marches were for. We hated the line when it kept us out, but now we paint it ourselves and call it pride. But exclusion don't turn righteous just because the colors flip sides. We vote for skin tone like it's salvation, Obama a symbol, Kamala a celebration. But who filled the prisons during Hope and Change? Who locked up Black men for weed, then laughed on stage? They wear our faces, but not our fight. Speak our slang, but sleep at night, knowing they signed the bills that kept our cousins in cages. But we still call it progress just because they made the pages. Congo bled for our iPhone screens. Babies mined cobalt so we could tweet Black excellence while they dig with blistered feet. Now, the plantation burns, Nottingham in flames. A tree falls on a house soaked in Southern shame, and suddenly everyone's a mystic. This is revenge. They say the ancestors did it, but we don't feel rage in our lineage. We feel rest. We feel release. We feel souls that crossed oceans of torment just to taste peace. Stop chaining our elders to rage they prayed themselves out of. Stop calling on spirits to do the work we keep postponing. Maybe it's not the dead demanding vengeance. Maybe it's the living, addicted to pain with a plot twist. We dress our wounds in rituals now, but forget that healing ain't a spell. It's a surrender. And our ancestors didn't die for us to make their ghosts stay angry forever. We're drowning in slogans, starving for depth. We honor the roots but neglect the tree, flex the seed but forget to feed what breathes. So no, this ain't hate. This is honesty with a blade. This is us saying we can't reclaim what we won't reveal, and we can't call it healing if the mirror ain't real. We say never forget, but what if we did? What if we remembered it all? The whips, the wars, the wounds we gave ourselves behind closed doors. What if we grieved without performance and loved without condition? What if Black Lives Matter meant more than a trending mission? Healing is more than hashtags. It's a hard look in the ancestral glass. It's saying survival ain't sacred if silence is the price. We buried these truths under generational ice, but this is the thaw, the unshackling cry, not just survival, but the reason we rise. Our grandmothers prayed for more than breath. They prayed we'd speak and break the spell of quiet death. So we name what they carried and lift what they passed. We are the voice they prayed would outlast. So what will we do? Keep passing pain like tradition? Or break the chain and become the revision?